What's up everyone, College Cousin here. Welcome back to another video, and today I'll be talking about the new partnership that was officially announced between WWE and TNA. And I say a new partnership, but this is kind of something that it's basically been a thing already. Just an official statement has finally been released about it, announcing the partnership. But like I said, it's kind of already been a thing. We've seen Jordan Grace in the Rumble last year. We've seen NXT talent appear in TNA. We've seen TNA talent appear in NXT. But I'll put the statement up on the screen that they released. In the statement, they do say NXT Superstars and TNA Wrestling Superstars to appear across weekly WWE and TNA programming, WWE Premium Live events, and TNA pay-per-views. And that got me thinking, WWE Premium Live events, what's the next PLE coming up for WWE? It is, of course, the Royal Rumble. And what do we all love about the Royal Rumble? Surprise appearances. So I've made a list of 5 TNA superstars I would like to see appear in the Royal Rumble. And before we get into that, I do kind of want to give my thoughts on the overall partnership. Like I said, it's kind of been a thing that has been around already. I am a bit worried for TNA, just based on WWE's track record of working with companies. You know, as a big TNA fan from like 2006 to 2009, I think TNA was the best wrestling you will ever get. You know, it's one of the best periods of weekly television. Like, that prime TNA will always be a special place for me. So yeah, I am hoping that, TNA does actually benefit from this and they don't end up like the next Evolve. But again, that was under previous ownerships, now in the Triple H and the TKO era. Let's hopefully see how this goes, and let's hope that things do work out well for TNA, because, I wouldn't to lose TNA. Anyway, let's think of more positive things, and let's talk about 5 TNA superstars I would like to see in the Royal Rumble. And I know in my last video, it was on 5 superstars who I think would win the Men's Royal Rumble. I did say I would do one on the Women's. That will still be coming. I literally just finished putting out notes for that video and getting, notes ready for stuff that I want to talk about in that video when this news did drop. So yeah, that video will probably come sometime soon. And yeah, so let's get into this. 5 superstars from TNA that I would like to see in the 2025 Royal Rumble. And I'm going to cover both men's and women's here. There'll be 5 superstars overall. So yeah. Number 1, we're going to talk about my favourite wrestler of all time. And that's pretty much why I'm throwing him in here. I will never complain about seeing the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy, one of my, like I said, my favourite wrestler ever. I'm not sure if you can see in the background, but he is one of the posters there on the wall, that blue one behind me. Yeah, you see it there beside the AJ Styles one too. TNA and TNA original, and someone who's currently in TNA. And Jeff Hardy is one of the reasons I did start watching TNA back in 2009, I think it was, 2010. I remember flicking through channel one day. It was on Challenge. I seen wrestling. I seen Jeff Hardy. And, I stuck around for the likes of AJ Styles. But yeah, this isn't about me talking about TNA. It's talking about... it's not about my love for TNA. It is about the Royal Rumble. And yeah, of course, there's no more words hits. Of course, he brought that back just before he left the week last time. Or even if the iconic Hardy Boys music does play, Jeff is going to get a big reaction. Jeff Hardy is over as anyone in the history of the company. He was a big star in his day. And, that music hits, you're going to get a big pop. You're going to get a big reaction. And who wouldn't love to see Jeff Hardy in one more Royal Rumble? Because I know I certainly would. Number 2, we're going to talk about, as of now, the current TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Nick Nemeth. Again, the former Dolph Ziggler. It'd be great to see him back in a Rumble. I've always been a big Ziggler, big Nemeth fan. And yeah, I'd like to see him back. Of course, we've seen Jordan Grace enter a Rumble as Knockouts Champion. Why can't Nemeth do it as TNA Men's World Heavyweight Champion? Of course, that is presuming he does retain at Genesis against Joe Hendry. I am recording this before that show. I don't know whether I'll get out in time before it or after it, but this is being recorded before Genesis. Whether he retains or not, Nemeth is someone I'd love to see in a WWE ring once again during the Royal Rumble. He's a great worker, great wrestler, and I'd like to see him lock it up with a couple of people in that Rumble. Maybe it's not the most exciting pick because he was only with the WWE for so long and only really left them about a year or two ago. So maybe there might be more fresher options to see. But yeah, if like Nick Nemeth enters the Royal Rumble, I will not be able to complain as a big Nemeth fan. Next up, I'm going to talk about the Women's Royal Rumble match and a woman that I've been a big fan of ever since her debut in TNA, and that is as a member of DK. Of course, we're talking about Rosemary, and of course, Rosemary has already appeared on WWE programming. She appeared in NXT, I believe, a couple of times over the summer. So yeah, it'd be great to see Rosemary, someone who I've been a big fan of for so long, get a spot in the Royal Rumble. You know, imagine Rosemary and Nikki Cross interacting in the Rumble, you know, with their kind of like spooky characters. Or even if you like want to just go from a like more wrestling standpoint, imagine like Rosemary getting in there with someone like a Becky Lynch or a Rosemary and I'm blanking on names right now, but like, you know, a Rosemary and a Charlotte Flair who could possibly in it. I'm definitely not spoiling my potential Women's Royal Rumble with those names, but yeah, like there's a lot of names. A lot of people I would like to see Rosemary mix it up with in a WWE ring, and you know the Rumble could give us a little preview, a little teaser of that kind of thing. And yeah, like as I said, I've been a big fan of Rosemary for a long time, and someone I would like to see enter the Women's Royal Rumble matchup. Number 4, we've got one of my favorite wrestlers in TNA at the moment, Josh Alexander. Yeah, I just what can there be to say about Josh Alexander? He's one of the best technical wrestlers in the world at the moment, in my opinion. Imagine Alexander enters the Rumble, we get to see him lock up with Chad Gable. You know, that would be something I would love to see. That'd be a match I'd love to see. Maybe Ethan Page enters the Royal Rumble as someone from NXT and we get a little North reunion or a North teaser. Or, you know, there's so much stuff I would love to see with Josh Alexander in the Royal Rumble. I think he'd be a great entry into the Royal Rumble. He's someone that you could have enter early into the Rumble and have a good run and be like an Iron Man of the Rumble. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Josh Alexander, and yeah, he's someone that I think would be. There's a lot of matchups I'd like to see of Josh in WWE, and so like again, with what I said with Rosemary, the Royal Rumble would be a good way to kind of showcase that and kind of showcase some like potential dream matches, like a Chad Gable. Like I'm going back to Chad Gable because Josh Alexander versus Chad Gable is definitely a dream match that I would love to see with this TNA and Royal Rumble partnership. And the Rumble would be a great way to kind of set that up, kind of start that. And yeah, like Josh Alexander in the Rumble, who would say no to that? I definitely want to be. In at number 5, we got Say His Name. It's Jake something. You thought I was going to say his name and he'll appear. No, I got the catchphrase wrong. It's what's his name? Something. It's Jake something. I love Jake something, especially if you watch Deadlock Pro Wrestling. Him and Speedball Mike Bailey, an amazing team. Speedball is someone who I probably would have had this on this list if his contract with TNA hadn't just expired, if he was still and he just left the company. But yeah, Jake something is a monster in the ring. He's powerful, he's fast. He is literally a star. He's someone that I hope TNA really elevate this year. Of course, we've seen it in Deadlock at DPW. You know, he was a tag team champion with Speedball. He's the current world champion there. You know, they've treated him like the main event star he can be. I'd like to see TNA do that. And I'd like to see him get a spotlight in the Rumble. I'm a big Jake Something fan, and I think there's a lot of upside to Jake Something. And again, if you put him in the Rumble, there's a lot of like intriguing matchups, intriguing pair-ups that you could do there, and that I really like to see. Like, could you imagine Jake Something and a Jacob Fatu squaring off in that ring, or a Jake Something and like a Braun Strowman? You know, there's a lot of potential like big matchups there that you could tease in the Rumble. And again, Jake Something is someone I would love to see make an appearance in the 2025 Royal Rumble matchup. And yeah, I know there's a lot of names that I have probably missed off on this list. I know Joe Hendry is someone that a lot of people would like to see. I won't be against Joe Hendry. I've been a big fan of Joe Hendry since like 2016, 2015 in ICW and or What Culture Pro Wrestling. So like, yeah, if Joe Hendry was to make an appearance in the Royal Rumble, I wouldn't mind. But I kind of wanted to go for like less obvious names because everyone would probably have Joe Hendry on their list. So I wanted to kind of focus on other people. I know there's names that like PC Oda and Eric Young that I would have possibly considered, but I know they are wrestling for OTT in the OTT local Rumble on that same day as the Royal Rumble, which I will be attending. So, like, I don't want to pull them from that show, and I don't think they would get pulled just to make an appearance in the WWE Rumble. So, yeah, there's a lot of names, but again, I had to narrow this down to 5. I didn't want to go with these super obvious, with your Joe Hendrys, or even Jordan Graces, and I didn't want to, like, people that I already knew had bookings that day. I didn't want to, like, include them. But yeah, so that's how I came up with this 5. We got Jeff Hardy, Nick Nemeth, Rosemary. I'm blanking on the 4th one. Who was it? Oh yeah, Josh Alexander and Jake something. I was blanking on Alexander for a second. I had already forgot who I put down, but yeah. Jeff Hardy, Nick Nemeth, Rosemary, Josh Alexander, Jake something are the 5 I've gone with. Let me know in the comment section below what 5 superstars from TNA you would like to see make an appearance in the WWE Royal Rumble this year. What do you think of this WWE and TNA partnership? Are you like me where you're a bit don't know what to think, you're a bit worried for the future of TNA, but you're kind of hoping this new era of WWE, it doesn't end up with them being bought out and turned into the next Evolve. So yeah, let's hope this works out for TNA. Let's hope it works out for WWE. And let's hope it works out for us fans and we get some big Royal Rumble moments this year. So yeah, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.